I want to share with you a few peer-to-peer lenders that give business loans to LLCs with a streamlined application and not a lot of demand and not a lot of paperwork requirements. So the first one I want to share with you here is Funding Circle. And Funding Circle is a P2P lender that actually lends to LLCs, not a problem. And what we love about Funding Circle here is that you really have a maximum loan amount of $500,000. Okay, so if your LLC needs, let's say, up to $500,000, half a million, you will love this P2P platform. And the cool thing about Funding Circle is that minimum credit score goes from 350 to 660. So you have a large gap here. Actually, it's 350 to 650. So 350 to 650. That's really good. And the thing about Funding Circle is that cash can be available within 3 business days. So once you provide all the documentation, they'll do some research. They might actually contact you to ask a few questions here and there. They might ask for a few documents here and there, but you are good to go within 3 business days. And they will wire you the money within 2 days, and you get your cash available within 3 days. Okay. You have competitive rates for online term loans here, and there is no minimum revenue requirements, and you have terms up to 7 years. So if you have an LLC and that's really kind of struggling right now in terms of liquidity, you will love Funding Circle a lot. Now, the only thing is that with Funding Circle, they want the LLC, to be in business for a minimum of 2 years. So if you are a startup, it can be a little complicated to get a loan from Funding Circle. And the minimum credit score is kind of higher than some other lenders. So they're asking you 350 to 650. Some lenders are actually okay with you having 300. If you're new, they'll work with you. And in some cases, depending on the state you're operating from, Funding Circle might require a business lien and personal guarantee. So it really depends on how much you are looking for. It also depends on your business and your niche. So Funding Circle, in our view, is great for LLCs who are looking to expand their business or refinance costly debt, have good credit and established business in some cases, and are looking for a fast cash. If you're looking for fast cash, Funding Circle will help you out here. Boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a fantastic opportunity to welcome you. Make yourself comfortable. You are going to enjoy today's conversation. Now, when we think about Funding Circle as a P2P lender for LLCs, you need to understand that Funding Circle is really great when it comes to their APR. I mean, usually, if you have like a low credit or fair credit, a lot of P2P platforms are, let's just say, lenders in general, they charge you like up to 99% APR. Now, Funding Circle is not going that far. They actually will charge you anywhere from 15% to 45%. So this is kind of cool. And the Funding Circle doesn't charge your LLC a prepayment penalty. And paying off your loan early can save interest costs. So this is kind of cool. And so when you think about Funding Circle with your LLC, you really have a great lender here because there is no minimum annual revenue requirements. So this is kind of cool because some, like if you take Bluevine, for instance, or OnDeck, even though those are not P2P lenders, but they actually ask you for like 100,000 or 250,000 minimum annual revenue requirements. Funding Circle is kind of flexible here, so this is really good. And you have a faster processing strategy or faster processing scheme than banks and the SBA. So for you, I mean, if you ever apply for an SBA loan, you know how complicated the whole thing can be, right? You can know how tedious and how slow the whole process can be. But with Funding Circle, when you apply for a regular loan with them, they get you the cash real fast. And this is really good. The only thing is that Funding Circle, as I said before, is not for new businesses. You're not going to be able to actually get a loan through Funding Circle if you just started. They want you to be around for a while and be you have to really get your feet wet, so to speak, before you can qualify for a business loan through Funding Circle. And one thing I want to say here is that Funding Circle has been around since 2013, and they actually launched in 2010, but they started operating in 2013, and they are actually they're legit, okay. And Funding Circle is not a bank; it is a fintech institution. Basically, they get cash from the private, from institutional investors, and they actually lend to small businesses, including LLCs. Also, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about the P2P lenders that give business loans to LLCs up to $250,000. And in the case of Funding Circle, we have $500,000. Another P2P lender that gives money to give business loans to LLCs is Ling Club. Okay, and Ling Club has been doing this for a while now. With Ling Club, you basically have like personal loans that you can use for business purposes. So obviously, the amounts that we are looking for here is kind of low. So we're not looking at up to $500,000, but we're looking at 1,000 all the way to $40,000. But hey, listen, it is still good anyway. I mean, because if you are a startup, if your LLC is a startup and you want to have a, I would say operational like startup capital, having this money from Lending Club is still good anyway. And what we love about Lending Club here is that they're really flexible. They're not really hiding it. They're flexible in terms of how much they can give you, and but they are flexible. Also, they are transparent rather as to their origination fee. That's how they make money. So Lending Club will charge you anywhere from 9% to 36%. You get $1,000 to $40,000 from them, and but you basically have an origination fee. They will let you know up front. And one thing we also don't like is that there is no mobile app to manage the loan with Lending Club. So this is something you really need to think about. Okay, but overall, we have a lot of pros with Lending Club because you have a joint loan option. You have direct payment to creditors with debt consolidation loans. You have the option to pre-qualify with a soft credit check. So this is really cool. You have the option to change your payment date also. This is really, really fantastic. So when you think about Lending Club, I want you to think about a lender that is really adaptable to your situation. And you are able to get, again, 40 grand here, maximum and minimum credit score, 500 to 600. But the cool thing about Lending Club is that they also have pretty generous repayment terms. So here we're speaking about 2 to 5 years. This is really good. You have 2 business days, and loans are available in all 50 states and the District of Columbia, the nation's capital. So this is really cool. And but again, there is an origination fee here. So we're looking at 3% to 8%. So for some people, this might be a little high, but for some, it's really normal. So something to really know to keep in mind. The thing is, when we talk about a Lending Club personal loan that you can use for your LLC, like for business purposes, it's really important to understand that you need to fit certain criteria. Okay, and Lending Club actually they're pretty generous in terms of how much they actually give you. And what we love about the whole process is that you have a soft credit pool, so you can pre-qualify on Lending Club's website to check your potential rate, loan amount, repayment term, monthly payment, and total interest cost. And applicants may be shown multiple offers, and pre-qualifying generates a soft credit pool, which doesn't impact your credit score. So if you get a loan, the company does a hard credit pull when the funds are sent. Okay, and so you have also the options to choose and change your payment date. So as a borrower, you can choose your repayment date before signing a loan agreement and change the date during a repayment. And payment date flexibility can be helpful if you change jobs, for example, and get paid on a different dates. Okay, and this is really cool. On top of that, Lending Clubs has what they call a member center, which can be very beneficial to your LLC. Why? Because that member center helps customers manage their money and credit. And many lenders provide a free credit score, but the additional insights in the member center, in our view, like debt to income ratio and credit usage, are really rare, especially coming from a P2P platform. So this is really fantastic. So the thing is, if you want to apply for a Lending Club personal loan that you can use for your LLC, you can pre-qualify on Lending Club's website. I want you to do right now. So you will be asked how much you want to borrow and what the funds are for, as well as some personal information like your name, birthday, and address. And the lender may ask for your social security number, and there is no hard credit pull at this stage. And what happens next is that you can preview loan offers and accept the one that fits your budget. And so once you accept the loan offer, you will submit a formal personal loan application. And so this will require more documents to confirm the information you gave during pre-qualification. And if you get a loan, Lending Club will do a hard credit pull when the loan funds are checked. or sent to you rather, or when the loan funds are sent. So your credit score may temporarily dip. I mean, probably you could probably lose like 5 points here and there, 10 points, but it's not really that big. Okay. Boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about P2P lenders that give business loans to LLCs. I want to talk to you about another P2P lender that actually gives personal loans that you can use for business purposes. So, and that lender is Prosper. So Prosper basically actually will give you anywhere from 2,000 all the way to 500,000. I mean, to 50 grand. So $2,000 to $50,000, and you can actually use the cash to actually like boost your LLCs, to buy stuff, to buy inventory, to actually like expand the business, all kinds of stuff. Okay. And what we love about Prosper is that Prosper actually they actually we love the fact that they will reward you if you are sort of loyal to them. In other words, you borrow from them and then you repay it, you borrow it again, you repay it. This is really good. So this kind of loyalty is really fantastic. Okay. And with Prosper loans, you are looking at $2,000 to 50 grand, and the minimum credit score goes from 460 to 560. It depends on the state you're applying from, and the APR goes from 7% to 36%. Okay, so when we think about Prosper here, the pros and cons. The pros: you have instant approval, you have a joint loan the joint loan option, you have hardship program for borrowers in need, you have a mobile app to manage the loan. So this is really fantastic. Okay, but there is no rate discount, so this is like a little bummer in our view. And they do charge origination and late fees, and there is no direct payment to creditors with debt consolidation loans. So this is something to really think about. But overall, when you think about Prosper, I want you to think about a very flexible lender that giving you loans, and they have no problem. They have no problem that you use the money for your LLC. You can even disclose that. This is not a big problem for them. You have repayment terms from 2 to 5 years, so once you're approved, it takes about 1 to 3 business days to actually get the cash. Okay, and the only thing is that the loans are not available in Iowa, West Virginia, or U.S. territories. Okay, but there's also something that you need to really pay attention to here. There is an origination fee of 1 to 5%. This is kind of low though compared to the Ling Club, which was charging you 3 to 8%. But Prosper is a little more, I think, a little less greedy in that sense. One thing I want to say here is that for you to qualify for a Prosper personal loan that you can use for LLC purposes, basically you need to be at least 18, and you got to have a verifiable bank account. And that bank account can be basically a business account or a personal account, not a problem. If it's a business account, it has to be under your name too, though, because they're not sending the cash to another business account. Okay, and so you're able to provide your social security number. And they want to have, again, as I said, minimum credit score 460 to 560, and they want you to have a maximum debt to income ratio, the DTI ratio, to actually be 50%. Okay, and it's one of those things where they want you to make at least like $5,000 every single month, in either personally or through your LLC. So Prosper will qualify you, but everything starts by you actually pre-qualifying on Prosper's website. Do not just apply right away. You want to pre-qualify first, okay? And then they will send you a series of loan offers, and you can accept the one that fits your budget. It's all about really accepting the one that fits your budget and make a plan to repay the loan. That's all it is. It's one of those things where you got to be in a situation where you're asking yourself, okay, I want my LLCs to actually get funded, and I want to get funds from P2P lenders, and there are 3. Okay, there are 3, and only one is actually exclusively for business loans. The other 2 are for personal loans that you can actually transform for business purposes. One thing I want to say here is that when we analyze Prosper, in this case, Prosper is really fast compared to others. And Prosper it's not really asking you a lot of income, but they want to have consistency in your income. They want to have stability, okay? Because if they are giving you a loan to be repaid over 3 to 5 years, you better be stable over those 5 years to be able to actually use the loan properly. Okay. And one thing I also need to say here is that when we talk about having a loan to like a loan for LLC purposes, Prosper has no problem. You can disclose that while applying to them. You can say, I'm going to use the cash for business purposes. They have no problems whatsoever to give you the money. So this is really fine. Let me give you the overview here in terms of, so let's quickly talk about peer-to-peer lending. So the thing is that when we talk about P2P lending, this is actually another name for peer-to-peer lending or social lending. This is actually the practice of packaging small amounts of money from different lenders to provide a loan to a borrower, okay? So with peer-to-peer lending, what happens here is that rates are usually lower than bank rates because there is not a middleman. Loan amounts range between 1,000 all the way to 40,000 on the personal side, but for business, you go all the way to $500,000. And so P2P lenders can include wealth advisors, for instance. You have fixed income funds. You have alternative asset managers. You have individuals. So this is really fantastic, okay? And so they view this kind of loans as investments that pay a fixed interest rates. And lenders may pledge as little as $25 to many borrowers, which results in a portfolio of loans to help manage their risks. Okay, and so when we talk about a peer-to-peer loan, basically what those platforms do, like Prosper, what Ling Club, and what Funding Circle, what they do, they collect and verify a borrower's personal and business financial information. They perform credit scoring and credit checking. They process monthly payments, and they service the loans. Okay, so they're like think of them as a middleman, really. Okay, and you can use business owners use P2P loans for a wide range of reasons, including purchasing equipment and tools rather, debt consolidation, for instance, cover the training costs for employees, expansions. So this is really cool. And the bottom line here is that you have to really see that the kind of loan you're asking for really fits your operational needs and also your sector. Okay. And it's not about just planning ahead. You have to also think about liquidity. Are you going to have the exact liquidity to actually get the stuff done? It's one of those things where you have to be in a situation where your LLC, for that matter, is generating enough liquidity to be able to cover whatever is here. One thing I need to say also is that you have to be in a situation where you are basically having the same. You can apply the same strategy to all kinds of situations. One thing I want to say also is that you need to also make sure that if you don't get approved, let's say by a P2P platform, you can also be approved by the online lender. You can be approved by an alternative lender. So you have all kinds of possibilities. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I was talking to you about 3 P2P lenders that give business loans to LLCs. So number 1, you have Funding Circle. Number 2, you have a Ling Club. And number 3, you have Prosper. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.